Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Corey, glad you made it. Thank you for the like. We're going to build this one for you, Corey. All right, Corey. Just going to run through kind of the build itself. Is my mic actually working? Just double checking, that's all. We're just gonna run through the build out itself. Corey, just wanted to say thanks again for all the help on picking up my first PC. Not a problem, man. My pleasure. It's what we do. So I've actually got a couple back here that we're putting together earlier today. So this will be the next build. But I'm just going to run through the build. So if anybody else is watching, which we're streaming to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. If you watch from Twitch, there's actually some commands you can run. For example, exclamation point error. And you can start playing with some sound effects on the stream as well. I haven't gotten it working on Facebook or YouTube yet. Don't think I'm going to be able to get it to work on YouTube. Facebook eventually, just it's not there yet. Need to spend more time setting it up. But we're just going to run through this build here. First off, we're going to be building with the Ryzen 5. This is the 5600G processor. It's got total of 6 cores, 12 threads, max boost of 4.4 gigahertz. So it's got some solid performance here. Then we've got our video card, which is the AMD Radeon RX 6600. It's an 8 gigabyte card, has PCIe 4.0 support, and it's a great card for 1080p to start out with. We're going to be running the T-Force Delta, which is by Team Group. This is white, and it's addressable RGB RAM. This is a total of 16 gigabytes in one kit, so each stick is 8 gigabytes, and the speed's 3600 because we're running a 5000 series processor. Really, you want to try to get 3600 for the Ryzen 5000 series. We're going to be plugging all of that into a B550M. And this is a Pro VDH Wi-Fi, so it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into it. Great board to start out with. And then we have the Western Digital Green 1 terabyte M.2 drive. This is not a Gen 4 drive, but it does supply up to 3200 megabits read and write speed, so it's a pretty quick drive regardless of it only being Gen 3. It's actually probably top tier Gen 3 drive versus Gen 4, but you can always upgrade to Gen 4 if you ever wanted to. This board and this processor combination allows PCIe Gen 4. We're going to be cooling the processor with the, yes, this is black here on the picture, but it's the Snow edition of the ID Cooling ZoomFlow 240. This is Evo, I think it's because it's the white edition. This is a 240 millimeter AIO. It's got two 120 millimeter fans on it and an addressable RGB on the pump. So it's a great cooler to start with. And you can also run it all the way up to a Ryzen 9 if you wanted to. So there's great paths for upgrades in the future if you needed to. We're going to be powering the system with an EVGA Supernova 650 watt gold rated power supply. I've been rolling with EVGA for quite a while now. It's a great trusted brand. Supernova is a very powerful power supply. This could probably go all the way up to like a RTX 3070 if you needed it to, or an RX 6700 XT, and anything over that I'd probably consider maybe getting a little bit bigger power supply. But overall, it's a great power supply to start with, setting up the entire build for success. And if you ever wanted to upgrade Corey, it's very easy to do so with this build out. So it's a great system to start with. In the case, probably won't get to see much of it right now. It's in the box, but it is the Fantex Eclipse. This is the P360A, and it is white. So we are going to aim for the white build. We haven't caught on yet. But, all right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, and the SSD. We're just going to unbox this motherboard here real quick and get the CPU mounted on it. So do you have any questions, Corey? This is your MSI B550M motherboard. Great looking board. We're also going to probably need an M.2 screw, which is in this bag. And that's to mount the M.2 SSD. And pretty much the rest of this can stay in the box. All set? All right. I'm going to go ahead and unbox the AMD Ryzen 5. This is our AMD Ryzen 5 5600G CPU. Good thing to note, if you ever do go to upgrade the CPU pins are on the CPU. They're not on the motherboard like Intel. So you should handle this always with care if you can. Saw some weird shiny on the pins, so I was just looking at it real quick. But you have a gold, I don't know if you can see that or not. You have a gold mark in one of the corners. That's always going to be generally this corner here on the motherboard where the socket is. Should have a mark on the socket as well if you want to line it up. But if you ever go to do a CPU upgrade, that's all we do. Just plug it in, pull the arm down, good to go. There we go, we got a Ryzen 5 5600G installed. Now we're going to just do the SSD here real quick. And that's going to go under this heatsink here. There's our M.2 SSD. 1 terabyte, and that will be going right here on the heatsink underneath it. We got to take that heatsink off in order to get to the M.2 slot. And we're also going to remove this stud because it's actually for a shorter SSD, not the one we're currently working with. And that's actually what the 2280 means. The 22 being the 80 being the size, the millimeter, I think, that the length of the actual card. If anybody ever wants to learn more about that, I think Linus Tech Tips has a really good video on that. But for the most part, the numbers are just explaining the size. There's no confusion because there's different sizes of M.2 out there. Yeah, I'm going to start with this one. Good God. Alexander Black, thank you for the like. I appreciate it, man. How's your day going? Seems like my mic might be a little bit too close. Now we're going to do the RAM. We're just going to put it in the 2 slots here. We're going to put it in dual channel, so if you're not familiar with the slots, always go back and check your motherboard manual. Doc Black Gaming, what's up, man? Told my buddy to check you out. Awesome. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, word of mouth is honestly really the way I grow. So, hey, Kyle, Weird Duck. Thanks for dropping by, man. Appreciate the like. But we're going to put the sticks in dual channel here. Again, if you don't know which slots is which, usually it's A2 and B2 on the motherboard, but if you should always just double check your motherboard manual. If you didn't have a motherboard manual that came with the motherboard, you can go online and download it. Alexander Black, it's good, man. How's yours? Mine is going pretty good. It's been a pretty busy day, not gonna lie, which has been great. I'm not gonna complain about that either. It's good to be busy. So, and I probably won't be done today. The stream, this build is probably gonna go pretty quick, which is great for anybody who's popping in and hanging out. But I'm probably not gonna be done until like 11 o'clock tonight. And then I gotta start all over again tomorrow at 6. So, because I am trying to get this out, this build completed, battle tested, everything done and shipped by tomorrow. So I'm trying to pound it out. All right, so we've got the RAM installed, the CPU installed, the SSD installed. Hey Steve, how's it going, man? I appreciate you jumping in and sending a like. Alex, I think I could call you Alex, right, man? I've got a buddy who goes by Alex, so thank you for the share. I appreciate it. You freaking rock, Ben. Hey, Kyle, thanks, man. Holy crap, talk about quick turnaround. Yeah, we're... Corey, when did you submit this order? Wasn't it over the weekend or just before the weekend? We're building it today. I was going to build it yesterday, but I just ran out of time. Yeah, or Doc. I'm both. Yeah, I figured. I'll call you Doc or Alex or Doc Alex. I don't know. Deep order, going good. Itching for an upgrade. Hell yeah, man. There's always going to be a bigger part, so it'll never stop. Colin Smith, thanks for the like. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. I'm going to get the case out real quick, so I'm going to take my head away from the screen. Or from the camera. We're going to get this beautiful white case out. I'm a big fan of this Fantech Eclipse case. And I wish I'll probably start doing actually reviews on parts and kind of going through more detail like that. I just need to find more time for it. But I wish Gamers Nexus would do a review on this case, because it is a relatively inexpensive case, which is great for when you're trying to build with a budget or within a budget. But the quality is there. And the airflow is there. It's everything that Gamer Nexus complained about. Personally, I think this is a great case for the price that you pay. Not sure if you can see all of it, but it's got a mesh front to it here, which allows some really good airflow. We got the tempered glass panel. It's not the full panel, but you got a nice spot here that hides all the wires underneath in the power supply chamber there. but just the mixture of the two colors, white and black, just cosmetically, it looks great. The aesthetics are nice. The quality is there. Perfect. Doc Black Gaming, Alex Doc. I have an idea I want to walk, or I want to talk to you about, so I'll send you a PM at some point. Hopefully you want to do a collaboration. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm all about the collaboration. In fact, I do a lot of Microsoft Teams implementation, and all of that is collaboration. That's what I do full time. So let's get collaborating. Sweet. Nope, we're just gonna slowly take things apart here on the case and get it ready to drop the motherboard in there, and once we get the motherboard installed, we can start some of the cables. Oh, awesome. Yeah, man. How's everybody else's night going? Everybody else doing good? Going good? Should be. I'm going to take the front mesh off to get to the screws. They're located in the box on the front base. So this is one unique thing that you won't see on every case. This is actually the bottom of the front of the case in your hard drive base. If you have 2.5 drives, or you could put, 3.5, or if you put 2.5, which is your SSDs, generally, you put them in the front, which is different, but I think it's more organized and easier to access. So if you ever need to add any more storage here, Corey, this is one area that you could do it outside of another M.2 slot that you have on the motherboard. Like, where did my box go? I have so many boxes here, it's so easy to lose them. There we go. We're going to lay this back down. Now we're kind of ready to drop this motherboard in here. Adam North. I assume you're just tagging somebody there. But if you, if you want to send me a message, man, Alex Doc Alex, or Doc, just shoot me an IM. Probably a really old school term. Instant message. Sorry, I'm old. I think the kids these days call it PM. Shoot me a PM and let me know what's up, and we'll get chatting. Tagging my buddy. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So we are going to line this up, but we need to make sure that the right studs are in place, because there's studs on the back here in the case that will hold the motherboard and then also allow you to screw the motherboard down to the case. And we just need to make sure the right studs are in the right place. You really don't want any studs touching the board in the wrong places, but you also want these studs all filled out completely. Because if you don't, it could be grounding somewhere or not grounding somewhere where you need it to ground. Power supply is probably grounding the PC for the most part, but I don't know. I build it right. Do it right. If you're gonna do it right. The kids these days. Hey, you know, I'm in my 30s. I don't know what everybody's saying anymore. I can't even keep track with the lingo that my daughter uses. Sometimes she says some pretty strange things, and I can't really gather if she's insulting me or whatever it might be. What, insulting? I can't keep up with all of it. So teach me something, people. If I could keep up with my daughter. She could tell me something and then tell me whatever she thinks or wants me to think that it is. So I need help. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, so we got all the studs in the right place here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 studs. And we also got the back plate here for the back of the motherboard. We're just going to line this up ever so slightly and drop it in. Alright, and then now it's time to just screw her in. Also want to double check the back plate on this one. I believe this one has a unique back plate for the cooler. I have to double check that though. What I'm talking about back plate is the back plate that will sit behind the CPU here and will hold the cooler down onto the CPU attached to the motherboard without really straining the motherboard. Because it does take some pretty significant pressure there to install it properly. Want to make sure got the right back plate in place, ready to go. Well, we're building this thing. Happening. So Corey, what games are you gonna play on here first? I know you and I kind of talked about it, but gonna do some Tarkov. Maybe get Judge to run a game with you. Hey TJ, haven't been paying attention to the notifications over there, but TJ, thank you for the like. I appreciate you each and every day. More so than you know. Doc, thanks again for the like. And Adam Dennis, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Just sent the PM, so whenever you're ready, whenever you're good, just check it out. No rush. Cool, man. Will do. So we got easy access to our backplate. This is the backplate that I was talking about for the CPU. We may have to change that out for the cooler, but I just wanted to confirm that we, of course, in this case, which I was just calling it quality, which it is, we have easy access to that backplate now that the motherboard's mounted. I'm actually going to pop that cooler out because I see one possible situation, which is we may have to move these front fans that are pre-installed here to the top, and we may have to mount the cooler on the front. And the reason is because of the clearance with the RAM. One downside. So we're going to get the cooler out and see what type of clearance we have. A little bit of extra legwork, but it's okay. Should have seen the pink build that I did the other night. That thing was insanely difficult to get everything straight. Just so you know, Brianna loved her new computer. It was a huge hit. Awesome. By the way, Brianna was the owner of the pink build. Thank you, Steve, again. I appreciate the follow-up too, letting me know kind of the ending of the story. The reaction is kind of like the thing I love most, seeing people's reactions when they see their builds for the first time. Oh, they started putting the pump up here in the radiator. So what I'm talking about is they're putting the pump up here now, which is crazy because it used to be down here on the CPU block. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, there's just barely enough clearance here. So we're most likely going to be placing this on the front. But we're probably going to, because the pump is on the radiator, probably going to mount it like so. I think that is our option here. And we'll move these two fans to the top here. And I'll grab a couple more fans to fill the rest of this out, like the back here. All good? Make it work. So let's see how these are connected back here. Back in a bit. Out. Gotta out the kiddos to bed, or put the kiddos to bed. No problem, man. Corey, sounds great. Awesome. Sounds great. There is. Snuck it up here. Like, I found one fan. I don't know where the second one is, but they snuck it up here in the top. We're just gonna cut that zip tie and break it out. But this is the type of stuff that you go through when you decide the cooler ran's better, taller. You don't really think of that. So you're in the middle of trying to build it, and then you're like, oh crap, I can't do it this way because the RAM is going to be in the way for the cooler. Oops. We'll work around it. Big deal. I just gotta fight with the wires here. Hold on. There we go. Now that we got the cables free, for the most part, we can remove these fans and get ready to put the radiator in here. I actually like that they put that pump on the radiator because we can mount it the way I'm going to be mounting it, which is hoses down, pump down, and it'll ensure that the pump is at the lowest point of the loop, which is what you want. That way the air is not getting trapped in the pump, the air is getting trapped in the highest point of the loop, which is going to be the top of the radiator. But it's definitely a good design. I appreciate the thought around doing that. Makes it easier to mount your radiator without having to worry about it. There we go. I got some fans here that I'm going to throw in to the build. Not expected, but okay. That's why I have them here for these types of situations. And we're going with white again, just to make sure that we have great color here. We're going to put 2 on the front, 2 on the back of the radiator, and then another one additionally on the rear of the case. Let's get our radiator ready. Remember, we're going to be mounting it like so in the case where it's kind of positioned right now, like this. So we have to make sure all of our cables are on this side of the radiator, which I'm going to flip it back over. So this side of the radiator is the direction that we want all the cables. So I'm going to mount these 2 fans first to the radiator. And then, once these are mounted, I'll be able to mount the additional 2 fans to the radiator as we're mounting the radiator to the case. So you're going to get a push-pull is what we call this out of the setup, which means there's more fans on the radiator, which means the fans actually have to work less. That's kind of a bonus, technically. Toby Manning. Yo, what's up, man? How is it going? I caught your World of Warcraft stream the other day. I think it was yesterday. But I didn't catch you streaming. I caught you after the stream, and I was able to watch most of the stream. So it looks like you're going back to World of Warcraft there. A lot of people actually have been going back to World of Warcraft and really perking my interest because I never really got into the World of Warcraft scene back in the day. So it's like my second chance to go do it. Although it was one thing that I did always want to go do. Although I have no idea. I know nothing about the game. So I'll be jumping in blind. I'll need somebody to hold my hand. Same thing with the new one, the Elden Ring. That one looks pretty cool. Much appreciated, man. Yeah, I'm starting up with new stuff. Been playing the classic version for a while just because I don't want to learn the new stuff. I don't blame you. I'm really old school here. Like, if old school Call of Duty 1 came out, I would just take all the kids to the bank. The blood bank. The classic versions of the games is pretty cool. It's actually something I've been like thinking about doing is kind of starting a Saturday classic gaming community thing where we pick a game to play for the weekend or something like that and we play through it. Ripe can't chat as Mern, so here we are. What happened? Did I miss something? Maybe I just add you as a moderator. I mean, you could actually probably chat as me now, right? Technically. Mern is the word. I downloaded Day of Defeat the other day. Oh yeah, that one looks really good too. That was one that I always wanted to get into, but my internet wouldn't allow me to download it ever because I was on dial-up back when that came out. So I was never able to complete the download, so I never got to play it. That's the mod for CSGO Source, Counter-Strike Source. Right? I think it's because I'm on the page now. Yeah, it's probably what it is. I mean, technically, you could probably, chat as me anyway, so if you wanted. Say I like to pick my nose or something as me. Just not while I'm building customers' PCs. It's kind of weird. So for those of you who don't know, or didn't see the post, Mr. TJ, Mern is the word, is helping out with the socials over here, the social media posting and whatnot. So he has pretty much God mode on all of the social media. If you want him to do something to me, he's the man to reach out to. If you want to post an embarrassing picture, I prefer not. Even though I'm not like partnered or anything with Facebook, or I really don't care, but so here we go. We got the fans ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just getting the screws ready, and then we're gonna mount this baby to the case. Mount this bad boy to the case. Gonna just try to figure out how to run these wires real quick. I know how to run them, I just want to make sure I'm running them in the right spots. That way I don't call myself an idiot later. Oh. I saw on a Facebook build group that I'm part of. Somebody's doing a $100 build challenge with another viewer. I thought that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I was just curious what you all thought of that. This is going to be more difficult than I thought. Okay, we're just gonna have to run with it here. Make it happen. Can you build a decent enough gaming PC for $100 today? Would it be worth it to do that in some sort of stream? Like I have $100 to work with. That's my limit. And then once it's built, we can, you know, donate it or something, or do a charity giveaway. Know if any of my PC builders in here would love to do that. I could show my age and could go real old school and play some. I can't see that. Somebody needs to send a chat. The screen chat is hung up there. Can't finish reading your sentence, Steve. Kind of hung up there. It needs to scroll. My mouse is like 12 feet that way. Alright, got our radiator mounted here. We're in really good shape. Got push-pull with some additional white fans, not planned to use, but we're using them anyway because got to build it right. Oh, there it goes. I could show you my age, really old school, and play some Ultima online. Oh man. I didn't know if it was like Unreal or something, or Unreal Tournament. It was chopped off there. Couldn't see the rest of it. I need a zip tie. I need a zip tie. Don't panic. I need a zip tie. Found a zip tie. Going to be the first of many zip ties. Just an FYI, Corey. Going to be a lot of zip ties in this build. So far, I've only had to deal with, I think, like 4 twist ties, which, by the way, is amazing. I feel like that's a win on its own. There we go. We got our radiator mounted. We just need to get the pump here on the CPU. Like so. Graphics card should fit in there nicely. And I guess this isn't the pump anymore. We could call it the CPU block now. Kind of the block. And then we could get the 3 fans mounted here. And then we'll get wires plugged in, and then we'll get the video card in, and then the power supply plugged in. And then we'll deal with some cables in the back. And then we'll turn ourselves about. And that's what it's all about. No? I've got kids. It's my life. Alright, so we just got to figure out what mounting bracket. I know we're going to be using this guy, which is going to clip on to this. Like so. I just don't know the studs that we're going to be using. I think they're going to be one of these. They're not labeled. How nice. So let's go look at the fantastic instructions. Well, that's a problem. Just kidding. I'm not sure why they wanted to waste some paper there, but okay, so they're just going to have us remove the plastic brackets and then add their studs, though they don't really define the studs in their packaging, which one is AMD and which one is Intel. So I'll assume. We'll find out which one works. That's about all we're going to be able to do. I'm pretty sure it's going to be this separate bag. Oh. But we're going to take one plastic bracket off. This is a trick for you future builders or somebody that needs some tricks and hints. We're only going to take one bracket off, because if we take both, back plate's just going to drop through on the back, and then you got to reach your hand under there and hold it, or put something behind it and hold it, and it's a pain in the butt. So just a hint, only take one bracket off at a time, not both. And then we'll get the screws that are going to hold this side in while we do that side. Shazam. Don't know if this is the right one though. Doesn't feel like it is. Let me check the rest. No, those are definitely like Tier 4 or something like that. These aren't right. These ones have to be the right ones. Which are the other ones? There we go, we got two of them mounted. Now let's pop this guy off. And now we have easy access to the other plate here, which I lied slightly about. And we're ready to slap some thermal paste on there. Get this bad boy mounted. Always make sure you peel these off on the bottom on the copper. If you don't, you're going to have one unhappy CPU. It will complain. It will scream. It will actually literally scream at you about how hot it is. Might even shut off and give you the finger. Alright. Thermal Grizzly with a ripped glove. This is our high quality thermal paste with our high quality X pattern. No, I don't have a thing for X-Men. It almost looks like something else. But we're not going to go there. We're going to make sure the logo is facing the right direction, which is the ID. Got it started here, and get one of these nuts added here, each corner. Let me know if anybody caught that. It was a nice one to sneak in there. I mean, they're nuts. Technically, they're called thumb nuts. Not going there. I'm honestly looking to play Tarkov, to be honest with you. I'll probably play some Apex, though, and a few others. Awesome. Maybe if somebody at Judges and gets him in here, maybe we can like talk him into playing a game with Corey Smith, you know, take him under his wing, be the Padawan. I don't know. I'm just signing Judge up for crap that he probably doesn't have time to do anything with. He barely responds to me. I'm just kidding. He does. Judge is a good guy. Busy guy, because he's such a good guy. And I am not in any way dissing him for that. Just teasing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Why are we struggling? All I want to do is put this cable through the hole. There we are. That was just a CPU cable that we needed plugged in there. This is going to be the addressable RGB cable for the pump. Each part is addressable. So each part pretty much has a cable for addressable RGB. And voila! Now we want to get our RGB. Should be up there, yep. Plugged in so that we can address our RGB. Our addressable RGB. Trying to sneak the cable in through this little hole. From the back to the front. Kind of sounds like a song during a wedding. Sorry if you're staring at my head. Here we go. There's that. We are looking pretty solid here. Let's get our fans up here installed. Now that we have these connections all done. You know what? Let me do the pump real quick before I forget about that guy, because he's going to get all sorts of tangled up in these wires. Future here. I just want a clean run. Run with it. A clean run. There we go. Pump is plugged in, so now the motherboard knows there's a pump here, and also how fast to run that pump. That's why we plug that bad boy in. What powers the pump? If you don't plug it in, then you just have water floating on your CPU and it doesn't really do anything. Okay. Don't need half of that. Get our fans going. Let's spin this bad boy around. And we're going to focus on fans here. And also on the back here. Now we're starting to break out the twist ties. Twist ties, twist ties. Let me just drop that in there. Why not? Why not? How's the music, guys? Do you want me to change the music up to something else? Is it too, like, headbanger? Half the time I don't even know what's playing it anymore. Really random. There we go. Got that rear fan installed. Looking real fine. So we're gonna have some really good cooling in this build with all the fans. One thing I don't really like doing is normally like packing in a fan right here on the top, because the airflow is coming in and then going directly out. What you really want is that airflow to come in, around, and then out the back and top towards the rear. But in this case, it is going to be generating heat from the radiator right here, but it's going to blow right on your RAM. So we're just going to put a fan there. Could help cooling. Could negatively impact, but I'll run some tests. If it is, then I'll change it. Well, okay. Thought I could still get there, but apparently I can't. Alright, we're standing it up. Apparently my wire management skills are low today. Struggling with simple tasks. All right, finally. After some fighting, I'm convinced that it was going to go in that hole. Okay, we made it. We did it. That's this fan that we're working on here. I'm only going to probably put 2 screws in here, and then I'm going to mount the back one and verify we can push this one as far back as possible. You really don't want this one up close. We want it as far back as possible. Trying to screw a screw in left-handed. All right, we're just getting these top fans installed here, and yes, we can roll this front one back a little bit, which is nice. Makes me feel a little bit better about the airflow. There we go. And the last two screws for this top piece, top fans. Beautiful. Yes, I gotta pull those cables through. And then we'll be tidying this up a little bit here. Like that popped off. We'll be cleaning this up a little bit up here and right here as well. So we'll get that cleaned up. Starting to look like a PC though, right? All right, so we've got a USB 3 connection. Front panel audio. Got to get all these plugged in next. Starting to look a little scary over here. It's okay, I've seen worse. I think I've seen worse. And we just have a simple power switch. Very interesting. Okay, we got some of the front panel cables here. It's looking great. Yeah, it is, man. Hey, Jeff. Mike, I'm sorry I missed your like. Mike, thank you for the like. Jeff, from a little while ago as well. Thank you for the like. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys stopping in, saying hi. This is USB 3 that I just plugged in here. This one is going to be the case addressable RGB because I believe this one has RGB LED on the case here. Brand, I believe. There we go. And we need something for the fans as well. Griller Girl is going to bed. She's out for the night. Not the one I wanted. We'll need this one, maybe. There we go. So that's going to be for our system fan. We're ready to install the graphics card, honestly. And there's our Radeon RX 6600, which is an 8GB card, delivering excellent 1080p performance. Gonna line it up, put it in the slot, drop it in on my glove, because why not? By the way, my glove is ripping on its way out, leaving the building. Probably put a new one on. Oh. And there we go. Graphics card installed. Let's go ahead and peel these off, right? We don't really need these anymore. And power supply time. Then we're going to get everything plugged in, then we're going to fire it up and Shazam. Probably going to do the majority of your cable management, just so you're aware, Corey, off screen, because it's going to take some time. And I can actually do that a little bit, or for the most part, while it's running some of the software. So most of the time I don't have to unplug anything. If I do, I have to shut it down, but just for your awareness. It may look like a mess right now, but I guarantee it will not look like that when you receive it. That is not the final cable management result. It just takes time, and I don't think anybody cares to sit there and stare at me deal with cables. Oh yeah. New cable, or new power supply smell. You smell it? You smell the power supply? Smell it. New power supply smell. Kind of like a new car smell, except better. We need the motherboard, the graphics card, and the CPU cables, which is, you know, this is a modular power supply, so we have to plug the cables in here. And with this type of tower, an ATX mid tower, I generally like to plug all the cables in, because it's hard to get back there and get to the power supply once it's plugged in. And that way, if Corey, if you do any upgrades in the future, it smells like upgraded gaming to me. Hell yeah. But in the future, if you ever do any upgrades, you have all the cables there, and you don't have to deal with trying to fish these power supply cables in there. It's all plugged in, just bundled up down below, out of the way, ready for use if you ever need it. It just means I have to undo more twist ties, so you don't have to do that in the future if you ever upgrade, right? I'm doing you a solid with the twist ties. If you haven't gathered already, I deal with probably a few hundred twist ties a month, sometimes even every 2 weeks, the thousands sometimes in a month. Twist ties, man. If I can live my next life without them, I'd be okay with that. Alright, last one. We'll plug it in here. And we're ready to slide this Supernova. Let me show you upside down. The Supernova 650 by EVGA. We're just going to slide that right here on the side of the case, which there are 4 screws on the back of the power supply here on the back of the case that we're going to use to mount it. So 4 screws to mount. Now that I have a couple of the screws actually started, I can flip it over and show it to you so you see what I'm doing. Once I find the last screw here. Hello? There it is. but just 4 screws here on the back of the power supply. And that's all that holds the power supply in. Hey, super very cool guy. How's it going, man? I just love saying your full name because it's super very cool guy. All right. Now we're going to run our CPU up and around like that to the CPU pins. And then the 24 pin for the motherboard is going to run, if I remember correctly, it's like top. Yeah, it's probably the top one. It'll make cable management nice. And then GPU, we're going to run that down or through this little hole here, which is actually meant for the graphics card. PCIe power cord. If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm just shoving my hand in here trying to find the hole, finding the hole successfully and pushing the cable through. So when I flip it over, I'll have all the power cords where I need them, and then we can flip it back over and deal with all this. Some people may get anxiety from watching these streams. I'm sorry in advance. Cable management is what it is for now. Until later. I don't know what we're hung up on here. There we go. This is our 24 pin, which powers the motherboard. It's the beast, big boy. That's what provides most of the power, the guts. Then you have your PCIe, which is 8 pin, plugs into the graphics card. What powers the graphics card? And then we have our 8-pin CPU connection here, which is up here in the corner. Just a note for any future builders, sometimes when you have big heat sinks right here, it's best to plug this in before you put that heat sink on. If you have a modular power supply, it's even better because you can plug that cord in. It doesn't have to be connected to the power supply. And it just saves you a ton of effort later when you're trying to do this right now, like what I'm doing right now. But because I didn't have a huge heat sink there, I wasn't too worried about it. Although the fan is kind of interfering with my ability to plug this in. But it's definitely not as bad as having a bulky heatsink right here getting in the way. There's that. Literally everything's ready, plugged in, good to go. Except for the back. Oh. The back is where the anxiety is, right? We're just gonna get this cleaned up here a little bit, get everything plugged in, fire it up, see what she looks like. Her first breath. There we go. That main wire bundle harness, extra wires that I plugged in there so we didn't have to deal with it in the future. That's all tidied up and bundled out of the way. For the most part, I'm just going to grab all these fan cables tuck them off the side in the direction that they should be going, or where they're kind of coming from. That way I can determine kind of like what is what here, without having a seizure. And it also gives me the opportunity to untangle some of these cables a little bit. Not sure why that is undone. That glove is toast. Beyond repair. I got a feeling that most of these cables are going to run this direction anyway. So we're going to start with that. I just need more zip ties. I'm great, man. How are you? Super, very cool guy. Thank you. I'm doing good. Doing good. Just trying to get through busy day today. I'm starting out the day again early because we have another one. Another busy day, that is. Don't want to confuse you there. Thought we could fit one there, but apparently we can't. Fine, be that way. Looking good, huh? Yep. Oh crap. I kind of lost myself there. Alright. We gotta decide how we're gonna do this RGB, because I know the Phanteks fans has a specific RGB thing going on here. And then the new fans that we introduced to everything is also having its own thing going on here. I think we're going to do that. Then we got to find the cable over here that runs from everything else. Is this, which will run here. Right? I have no idea. We'll find out. Normally I don't take those ones apart, disconnect them. But that time I did. Derp derp. That's that. Hello. Oh. I always end up like sticking my head down like this while I'm working on stuff. I don't know why I do it, but I do it. Bad posture. And your neck starts to burn after a while. You need to stop doing that. Okay. We're going to deal with these guys last. We're going to deal with these white cables here first. We've got one, maybe. I think we're going to go all the way up here. There we go. Two. And 3 and 4 here for the CPU fans. Really glad I listened to Judge and went through you. I've talked with a few friends who know PCs and they said it definitely did me a solid with my budget. Told you. If you're a friend of Judge, you're a friend of mine. Although everybody's a friend of mine. So, but if you're definitely a friend of Judge, then you're definitely a friend of mine. And I will do everything I can to give you the best possible build that your budget will allow. I'm not here to screw people. Not in the business to do that. Not a very good businessman either, so I like to I got too big of a heart, so to speak. Awesome. So that's it. Everything's plugged in. Okay, I'm gonna take care of this big mess here later. Okay, so don't freak out. I'm not leaving it like this. This is not your end result. Just for the sake of the stream, to get it fired up here, because we're all plugged in. We're ready to go. I'll just have to come back and finish the cleanup here at a later time, some point tonight or tomorrow, before we ship it. But we'll get it. This is also a really good time to buy right now, so meaning the prices on parts are just insanely cheap. So it was a really good time to come in and be like, hey, I want a computer, because parts are really priced out well. H2D X returns over on YouTube. I had 2 blue screens today. One says memory management, and the second one says faulty hardware, corrupted page. How do I fix? So memory management and faulty hardware corrupted page. kind of points to your memory being the problem. I would recommend running your mem check, or your memory check, which is actually a software that is included with Windows, but you'll have to boot to it. Takes a little bit of knowledge to get going. Is this one of our builds? H2DX returns? If it is, just give me a call and I'll be happy to help you. Right now? Okay. I'm not gonna put the glass on because the glass with the lights, it kind of reflects a little bit, so we're gonna leave the glass off. But we are gonna get this thing fired up, and we're gonna see the end results here. Okay. I'm gonna... No, it's my own mate. Oh, okay. Well, I'd say that it is definitely probably pointing towards your RAM. I don't know if you have XMP profile turned on or not. If you do, try shutting off the XMP profile. Try to boot and see if you continue to get the RAM or the blue screens pointing to memory management or faulty hardware. If you don't, then it's possible you have faulty RAM or there's something going on with your XMP settings. So I'd recommend going into your BIOS and shutting off the XMP, test it for a while, and see if you continue to get blue screens. If you don't, then it's likely something to do with your XMP profile settings, or it's a configuration on the RAM, or if you have multiple sticks of RAM, it could be that one is bad, or that you have a mismatch, meaning one set of RAM is maybe faster than the other set of RAM. If you have mismatch RAM, you will get that type of experience. So try disabling the XMP if you haven't already. Run it for a day or so and see if you continue to get the blue screens. But I'm going to fire this one up for Corey. This is Corey's build that we're doing today. And we are going to see what she looks like. Are you ready, Corey? Are you here to see it? Are you here to witness it? I think I plugged the power cord in the wrong pins. Just an FYI. And there she is. Super bright, which is why we're getting kind of a bit of a glare on the camera. Let me see if I can power one of these lights on and get rid of that glare a little bit. That helps a little bit. We don't have any RGB on this fan, which is kind of concerning. Probably an RGB connection on the back. And I left it kind of loose. But we do have a post for running. I'll fix the RGB on the back. I know what it is. It's already a connection. But here's the front. Yeah, no problem, man. Feel free to shoot us a message. Follow us on Facebook, or shoot me a message on Facebook or our website. If you need any additional help trying to troubleshoot that HDX returns, just shoot me a message or give us a call. Corey Smith, I'm here, and we're online. That is your end result, except for the RGB fan on the back, or the RGB connection on the back for this fan. Pretty sure when I slid the panel closed, I think it just disconnected, which is why we're going to zip tie and clean all that up so it doesn't happen. But what do you think? Probably peel this off too. No problem, man. Yeah, I'll be cleaning up the wires on the back and making sure this works. If it doesn't, then I'll figure it out. This is why we build it, test it, so we can find, if that's a lemon, you find out now instead of when you get it. But yeah, next steps is Windows installation, drivers, battle tested scenario, all the updates, BIOS updates, XMP, and then the battle tested phase, and also the wire management on the back, and figure out this fan. Outside of that, man, he's gonna be ready to ship tomorrow. Tomorrow's our date, so we're gonna get her out. Any questions? You happy with it? I know you said you're already happy with it, but if not, I'm all set. I'm done for now. I'll be back to it later, but I'll leave it running here for a little bit. But I appreciate every one of you for jumping in and hanging out, and watching us build Corey's machine today. And I'm excited for Corey because he'll be able to play Escape from Tarkov and take all of Judge's advice that he watches and use it for himself here on the PC. If the light don't work, don't worry about it. No, man, the light's gonna work. I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry. It's just I'm pretty sure it's just the connection on the back. When I plugged it in, I felt one of them was kind of loose. I'll fix that. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's going to be 100% clean before it goes in the box. So we'll fix that fan. Don't worry about it. Just unlucky that it happened on the live stream. But thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'm going to leave this up and running for a little bit. If you guys want to hang out, chat, and watch it, awesome. Outside of that, I am going to move on to my next task for the night. And again, thanks for stopping in and watching us build Corey's build. Have a good night. I'll see you next stream.
you.